So skills that billionaires have that if you imbibe it into your life, it's gonna make a big difference. Part 2. So billionaires know how to work with people. They're always working with people because let me tell you, 100% of the customers you will ever get are humans. All right, 100% of your family members, humans. 100% of your business partners, humans. 100% of everything you're gonna do will contain humans. So learning how to work with humans is incredibly good. It's a big skill. Now, when you see poor people, they're always getting pissed off. They're always having it difficult to work with people. They are loners. Some people will tell you, I don't like mixing with humans. I like to stay alone. Because what? It's difficult for them to find somebody that matches exactly their energy. No, what billionaires do is that they adjust their own energy to your level. If somebody is worth 100 billion naira, for instance, and you go for a meeting with them, they're not going to be talking like 100 billion naira someone. They step down to your level. Let's say you're worth 50,000 naira. They step down to 50,000 and then they can relate with you. Hello, what can I do for you, sir? You'll be surprised. Is this the billionaire I know? And many people are usually surprised when they see very, very rich people one-on-one. They're usually surprised, like, this guy just looks normal. Yeah, because he stepped down. When it goes to billion naira negotiations, he's going to tune up to billions. You understand? So it's good that when you meet people, don't wait for them to match your energy. You adjust your energy to match theirs so you can relate with them. Another thing that billionaires do is that they're always visionaries. They're always dreaming of the future. There's always something that they're about to work on. They're never bored. In fact, anytime you're chatting with someone and that person says, I'm bored, check their bank account. They're broke. 100%. Anytime you're chatting with someone and that person says, I'm bored, I'm just at home sitting, I'm bored, check their bank account. It's almost zero or approaching zero. Billionaires are never bored. There is always one new project. There's always something about to happen. Even Warren Buffett, one of the richest men on earth, is about 85 or 86 years old. This guy is still the CEO of his company. He's still actively working. Today we know in Nigeria we have Obasanjo, an ex-president. He's still working. He still does sports. He's still actively participating in politics. Even people, when billionaires say they have retired in politics, it's not always true. We know people like IBB, he's still there in his house. People still come to visit him, even though he has lost his legs, sort of. So these guys, they never get old here. In fact, whenever someone tells you that, man, I don't know what to do with my life, that person is broke. Is broke, 100%. So if you want to be a billionaire, one thing you can start doing is always think of the next project. What can I do? And the best question to find what to do is, what can I do to make the world better? What do I want out of this world? What are the challenges I faced? For instance, if you grew in a place that you couldn't go to school, your parents couldn't pay school fees, you start thinking like, how can I make it easier for other people to pay school fees? Before you know it, you've come up with ideas. Maybe an NGO, maybe business ideas for parents, maybe a scholarship program for pupils. You know, a whole lot of things you can come up with just because you're trying to solve a problem you faced. Now, when most people say they are bored, they are so selfish that they are not trying to solve a problem even they themselves are facing. That's why they're bored. So one thing you can do to kill boredom is to start thinking like a billionaire. What's the next thing? Have a storyboard on your wall. Get pieces of paper, pen down like 4 or 5 of your ideas. If this one happens, if this happens, if this happens. Then every day, think through it, try to bring it to reality. Billionaires live in their brain. Whenever you stay close to them for any length of time, they start talking of what they want to achieve next. Whenever you stay close to a rich person, just listen. After a few seconds, they will start talking about the next thing they want to do. Once they are done with the pleasantries, there's always something they're working on. So you can start building your life that way. There should always be something you're working on. There should always be something you're going towards. So one thing with billionaires, another thing with billionaires is that they keep records. This guy knows how many companies he has. This guy knows. I had a discussion with a billionaire one day. He told me that what he does is that once every year he calls his CEOs, the CEOs of his companies, to a meeting. And when those CEOs are coming, guess what? They know what's up. He's going to ask them questions about numbers in the business. How many staff do we have now? He knows that. He just testing their knowledge. And if any of them fails, he fires them on the spot. If they fail the question, he's going to ask you how many staff you need, what was the revenue last year, last 2 years, last 3 years, last 4 years, how many companies are competitors, this, that. Once you fail any of them, you're going. Because they value knowledge so much. Not just the one on paper, but the one upstairs. Because when you have the knowledge, you're able to process it faster and make decisions. Your subconscious is able to process it too while you're sleeping. So you should know your numbers. They call it know your numbers. Even when you want to meet investors, the investors are billionaires. They don't deal with people that don't know their numbers, and they're asking you questions about the business you want them to invest in, and you're stammering. That's it. They're not going to work with you because they know that that's a kind of laissez-faire attitude that you're going to use to handle the rest of the business. You should know your numbers. How much is in your bank account right now? How much money did you spend last month on food? What of on transport? What of on this? How much is your profit from that job you're taking? If there's no profit, why are you in the job? Okay, at least maybe you're working there to learn. If you're not learning and there's no profit, you should quit. Honestly. So you should know your numbers. Get a sheet of paper, write your numbers down. If you don't know your numbers, you start keeping a record. Every day, you write how much you spent on food, how much you spent. After like a week, you can actually make projections. So this is how much I spent on the food this week. Next month, this is how much I will spend, and so on. So know your numbers very well. Now, another thing with billionaires is that they are loyal. When you almost never hear two billionaires quarreling, almost never. It's a very rare occasion that two billionaires are clashing. Whenever two billionaires meet, they negotiate. And then everybody keeps their own end of the bargain. Hey, you look, man, I know this is not written on paper, but you help us to install this politician, all right? We'll make sure that our own politician assigns this 20 hectares of land to you. Period. Deal. That's it. Your word is your bond. So if you want to succeed in life, people should be able to trust you because you're loyal. All right, don't go to the back to backstab. If you're employed in a company, don't go and start a competing company at the back. If you do that, you're killing your social currency. Another day, they will never recommend you for anything. In fact, whenever your name comes up, they're going to tell that bad story of how you backstab them. You don't backstab. All right, so maintain your social currency by being trustworthy. If people can trust you, you can be amazed at how much responsibility they're going to put to you. You don't know who's thinking about you right now that is thinking of it. How can I give this person this thing that I own? So if you want to be a billionaire, one good thing you can do is to be trustworthy. 100% trustworthy. If you say you're going to do something, go ahead and do it. If you say you're going to execute a project, go ahead and execute it, even if it means burning night candles. People observe these things. People notice these things when you deliver on time. So the final thing about billionaires is the ability to catch fun. When you see a billionaire, go check his garage. He has the best cars in the world. Go check his itinerary. He has traveled to the best islands, chilled in the best beaches, with the best bitches. You know what I'm saying? So this is how billionaires think. They take time to catch fun so that when they're at work, when they're in the work mode, they work incredibly crazy. Every time you've seen somebody that worked close with a billionaire, they always tell you that, man, this guy's work ethic is way off the roof. You can't get to that point without being incredibly good at what you do and incredibly being a very good hard worker. You work extra hard. But when it's time for fun, billionaires catch fun. They don't like to build shitty houses. They want to take time out to build the best house, with the swimming pool at the top floor. You know what I'm saying? That's a billionaire mentality. So that when he wants to rest, everywhere is good. Look at their meal plan, what they eat. Now look at their exercise routine. They take time out to do what? Take care of their body. Your body is your biggest asset. It's your first product. It's the only thing that if you give it up, you are gone. You can lose everything in life. Everything. Lose everybody around you. Lose all your properties. Lose your job. and still be able to bounce back. But if you lose your body, you're gone. So take time out to catch fun. When you want to catch fun, be there. Don't use your phone. Don't put your phone in your pocket. Don't to start pressing your phone. You understand? Don't be distracted. Don't try to settle business deal while you're catching fun. Clear everything. Clear your mind. Enjoy the moment. That's something that billionaires do all the time. When you want to exercise very well. You know? So that when you're at work, you're fully at work. Thank you very much, guys.